They were already standing when I walked in. My mother's arms were folded tight against her chest, like she was bracing for impact. My father stood near the window, jaw clenched, eyes fixed anywhere but me. My sister sat on the couch, perfectly still, lips pressed into a line that looked rehearsed. No one said hello. The cake candles were still lit. Wax dripped onto the frosting, unchecked. No one moved to blow them out. I remember thinking, this is it. This is the moment where something breaks and doesn't bother pretending otherwise. Say it. My mother said. Her voice didn't shake. That hurt more than if it had. Say what? I asked. The apology. She replied. You know what you did? I looked at the cake. Pink icing. My sister's favorite. 20 candles. She didn't look at me once. My phone buzzed in my pocket. Still vibrating. Still unread. I said one word. That's when my father turned around. I'd always been the quiet one. The dependable one. The child you didn't have to worry about because I learned early that attention was a limited resource. And my sister claimed most of it effortlessly. She was brighter. Louder. Fragile in a way that demanded protection. I learned to succeed quietly, to celebrate internally, to shrink my wins so they wouldn't cast shadows. I thought that was love. I thought wrong. The acceptance email had come that morning. Full scholarship, out of state. Prestigious enough that my hands shook when I read it twice to be sure. I hadn't told anyone. Not until my aunt hugged me at the door and whispered congratulations like it was a secret we were stealing. The room shifted then. I felt it. By dessert, my sister was crying in the bathroom. By candles, I was being accused of sabotage. You couldn't wait one day, my mother hissed earlier. You had to make this about you. I stood there, stunned, as my father nodded along like he'd practiced the motion. So when they demanded the apology, when they framed my existence as an offense, I realized something cold and clarifying. They weren't asking for peace. They were asking for submission. And I was done paying that price. The first red flag was how quickly they agreed with each other. No discussion. Just alignment. My sister finally looked at me then. Her eyes were dry, sharp. Calculating. You embarrassed me, she said. In front of everyone. I laughed once. It slipped out before I could stop it. That was a mistake. My father slammed his hand on the table. Plates rattled. If you don't apologize right now, he said, you can forget about our support. Tuition, housing, everything. There it was. The leverage they'd always held, finally unsheathed. I looked at my mother, searching for something, anything, that resembled doubt. I found none. That's when I said the word, no. It wasn't loud, it wasn't brave, it was final. The silence afterward was surgical. My mother inhaled slowly, like she was preparing to deliver a diagnosis. You're cut off, she said. If you walk out of this room without apologizing, don't come back. I believed her. That hurt too. I nodded once. Detached. Then I said, okay. And that's when the door opened behind me. My grandfather had arrived late, he always did. He stepped inside with his cane. Eyes sharp despite his age, and immediately sensed the tension. His gaze moved from my parents' faces to my sister's stiff posture, to the untouched cake. Then he looked at me. What did I miss? He asked. No one answered. I turned to face him fully. I got accepted. Full scholarship. His eyebrows lifted. A smile tugged at his mouth. That's wonderful, he said. Then he paused. So why does it feel like a funeral? My mother opened her mouth. I beat her to it. They want me to apologize, I said. For existing too loudly. The air snapped. My grandfather's smile vanished. He asked them to explain. They tried. God, they tried. They reframed it as timing, and sensitivity, and, knowing your place. My sister added tears on cue. My father spoke in calm, authoritative tones. Like he was presenting a reasonable argument. My grandfather listened, didn't interrupt, didn't blink. When they finished, he turned to me. Is that all? He asked. No, I said. That's just today. Something in my voice made him straighten. Tell me, he said. So I did. I told him about the scholarships I'd turned down so my sister wouldn't feel inferior. About the internships I never mentioned. The awards hidden in drawers. The way my achievements were always treated like inconveniences. I told him about the college fund. The one that was supposed to be split evenly. The one I'd discovered, by accident, had been emptied 3 years ago, transferred, all of it, to my sister. The room started to tilt. My mother went pale. My father laughed, too fast. Too loud. That's not what happened, he said. I met his eyes, Check your records, I said. My grandfather didn't look at them, he looked at me. Is this true? He asked quietly. Yes. Silence, then he turned to my parents. I asked you once, he said. Voice low, dangerous. To be fair. My mother's hands trembled. It was for her future. She whispered. She needed it more. My grandfather nodded slowly. And what about the other child? He asked. No one answered. That's when he did it. He reached into his coat and pulled out his phone. One call, short, efficient. I want the lawyer here tomorrow, he said. And the bank statements. All of them. My sister stood up abruptly. Grandpa. He raised a hand. Sit, he said. She did. My father's voice cracked. There's no need for this, he said. We can fix it. My grandfather looked at him with something close to pity. You already fixed it, he said. Just not in your favor. Then he turned to me. I'm proud of you, he said. And you're not going anywhere. The fallout was quiet, no screaming, no dramatic exits, just consequences. The college fund was traced, relocated. Legally. My parents' access to certain accounts, his accounts was revoked, support strings cut. Not mine. The narrative they'd curated for years collapsed under documentation and daylight. My sister stopped calling. My mother cried when she realized tears no longer moved anyone. My father avoided eye contact like it burned. And me. I packed. Methodically, not running, advancing. On my last night in the house, my mother knocked on my door. She didn't come in. We did our best. She said. I zipped my bag. No, I replied. You did what was easiest. She flinched. I hope one day you forgive us. She whispered. I met her gaze. I already did. I said. That's why I'm leaving. At the airport my grandfather hugged me tight. Live well, he said. That's the only revenge worth anything. I nodded. But he was wrong about one thing. Revenge wasn't loud, it wasn't cruel, it was quiet. It was walking away with my future intact, while they begged for a version of me that no longer existed. I boarded the plane. Didn't look back. And for the first time in my life, I didn't feel small, I felt free.